The animal kingdom. A remarkable array of living, breathing natural wonders. Majestic. Compelling. Ingenious. And extraordinary. Fascinating. Physical. Visceral. And ferocious. Discover their past, present, and future. Just stunning. Just glorious. Just amazing. Just animals. Marine mammals. An estimated 700,000 to 1 million species call our oceans home. Among them are the marine mammals. This special group of aquatic mammals rely on marine ecosystems above and below the waterline for their survival. Despite spending a large amount of time in the water, they must come to the surface to breathe in air. From the largest creature on the planet to the slipperiest member of the weasel clan. Marine mammals run the full spectrum from great to small. Marine mammals are all warm-blooded vertebrates, whose young are nourished with mother's milk. There are a few different groupings amongst them. Firstly, there are the cetaceans, better known as whales, dolphins, and porpoises. Their method of dining splits them into two categories: the toothed whales and baleen whales, named for the baleen plates these filter feeders use to strain out tiny organisms, like krill. The largest of the cetaceans is the blue whale. Not only the largest marine mammal, but the largest living creature on the planet. They can grow to 30 meters in length and weigh about 180 tons, the equivalent of 300 African elephants. The pinnipeds are comprised of seals, walruses, fur seals, and sea lions. This group enjoys the best of both worlds. When not foraging at sea, they can spend large amounts of time on land. Watching them get about on shore, it's no surprise where their name came from. Pinniped means fin-footed. Amongst pinnipeds, southern elephant seals are the biggest. With mature bulls weighing in close to 4 tons and up to 6 meters in length. On land, they are an intimidating sight to behold. Telling a seal from a sea lion is simple. Look for ears and watch how they move. True seals have no external ear flap, while eared seals do. Sea lions and fur seals both belong to this family. On land, true seals undulate like large caterpillars, while eared seals can scamper about on their fins. There's no confusing a walrus, thanks to their distinctive tusks. Second in size of the pinnipeds, they are found in the Arctic Ocean and the seas around it. The sirenians, or sea cows, are another order of marine mammals, made up of manatees and dugongs. In times past, imaginative sailors mistook these rotund animals for mermaids or sirens, alluring mythical creatures rumored to coax their love-struck victims into the sea. In reality, all these harmless marine mammals find tempting are seagrasses. Their tails differentiate the two. Manatees are flat and paddle-like, while dugongs power along with a bilobed fluke, similar to a dolphin's. Manatees are slightly larger than their dugong cousins, growing to about 3.5 meters and tipping the scales at 500 kilos. Finally, the smallest marine mammals, sea otters. At an average of 45 kilos, they make up for their small stature with a ton of appeal. While the rest of the weasel family scurries about on dry land, their aquatic cousins, sea otters, are happy to spend most of their time bobbing along in salt water. To keep warm, most marine mammals rely on layers of thick blubber for insulation, but sea otters have thick fur instead. Their lush coats are so dense they can trap pockets of air, giving these charming aquatic creatures their characteristic buoyancy. With the 7 seas as their playground, marine mammals have plenty of water and coastlines to call home. Despite this, they do, as a group, play favorites. In both hemispheres, the highest concentration of marine mammals can be found in the waters along the 40th parallel. These 2 temperate regions host the highest concentrations of these magnificent animals. One group that enjoys warmer temperatures are the sea cows, which target tropical and subtropical habitats. All show a preference for water that's at least 2 meters deep, with good supplies of aquatic plant life for these herbivores to munch on. While they are quite rotund, manatees have relatively low body fat, causing them to be quite sensitive to cold water. If the temperature drops below 20 degrees Celsius, they will suffer. So, when winter's chill finds them, manatees head in search of warmer waters from spring-fed rivers. Florida manatees move freely from salt to freshwater. In comparison, sea otters can handle the cold, often found bobbing in the shallow coastal waters of the northern Pacific. These small marine mammals usually stay within sight of the shoreline. Strong winds are common, so sea otters choose habitats that offer them some protection. Rocky shores, barrier reefs, and thick seaweed forests all act as excellent windbreaks. Most seals, or pinnipeds, choose to live in subpolar and polar regions because they depend on cool, nutrient-rich waters for sustenance. Fast and agile in the water and able to dive for 15 minutes makes them superb hunters for a wide variety of fish that are the mainstay of their diet. Some pinnipeds opt for warmer surroundings, such as monk seals, found in the Hawaiian Islands, the only true seal found in tropical waters. Galapagos sea lions from the Galapagos Islands and Ecuador are the smallest of the sea lions, averaging just under a meter in length and 250 kilos. For these pinnipeds, the ocean still provides. The reefs of Hawaiian waters providing plentiful fish and a variety of squid and octopus that make up the monk seal's diet. Cooler currents sweeping around the Galapagos region bring schools of sardines within range. Galapagos sea lions still need to travel 10 to 15 kilometers offshore to hunt for their favorite prey. With so many members, it's no surprise that cetaceans have a wide distribution. Explore any ocean and they'll be there. Like any family, there are some that are a bit fussier. River dolphins, for example, only live in freshwater systems. Slightly smaller than their sea-going cousins, they have adapted to warmer waters and have little to no blubber. While humpbacks, blue whales, and orcas and many other whales can be found globally, most species prefer the colder waters of the northern and southern hemispheres and migrate towards the equator to give birth. The ocean is a stunning yet harsh environment. Every day, marine mammals rise to the challenges presented by their salty home. Their survival made possible thanks to countless adaptations passed down through successful generations. Swimming is an obvious skill. Their flippers or tails propelling them through the water. These natural motors are designed for maximum power and minimal resistance. their streamlined bodies further reduce drag. Some marine mammals are quite zippy out in the water. Sea lions can manage speeds of 35 kilometers per hour. Orcas are even faster, reaching 50 kilometers per hour. The common dolphin comes out on top, able to reach 60 kilometers per hour. In order to reach food sources, diving is another vital skill for marine mammals, an activity that requires a few important adaptations. To survive underwater, oxygen is everything, and their lungs use it very efficiently. When humans breathe, we only exchange 10 to 15% of the air in our lungs. With whales, it's up to 90%. Marine mammals not only have high blood volume, but its chemistry also helps the blood retain more oxygen, meaning they can stay under for longer. To further conserve oxygen, whales can reduce their heart rate by half when diving and divert blood flow away from non-vital organs. The deeper they dive, the greater the atmospheric pressure crushing down on them, but their bodies can withstand it, as they have ribs and lungs that are collapsible, thus minimizing air spaces. Dolphins can stay under for about 20 minutes. Weddell seals can be submerged for more than an hour at depths of 600 meters. And sperm whales can last for an hour and a half. Keeping warm in an aquatic environment is another issue marine mammals have to contend with. Size helps with thermoregulation. Larger animals have a lower surface area for their size compared to a smaller creature, which means they radiate or lose less heat, therefore staying warmer. For insulation, marine mammals rely on blubber, dense fur, or both. Blubber also serves as an energy reserve should food become scarce. Plus, it gives the animal additional buoyancy in the water. While they might live in an aquatic environment, marine mammals rarely need to seek out fresh water to drink. Instead, they extract water from their food, the moist air they inhale, or source it from their blubber. Specialized kidneys help them conserve the water they do have by producing concentrated urine that's saltier than seawater. Marine mammals are big on communication, and science is on their side, as sound travels 4 times faster in water than in air. Dolphins organize hunts with their calls. Whale splashes are thought to send messages. Researchers believe fin slaps are used for local chats. While body slamming breaches are better for signaling groups much further away. Years of observation suggests when male humpbacks are feeling romantic, they sing. Toothed whales use sound in another, very different way, performing what's known as echolocation, to see what's in their vicinity. By sending out fast pulses of sound, then listening to the echoes bouncing back, they can source prey and visualize the rest of their surroundings. Natural camouflage is another important adaptation that helps marine mammals survive. In polar regions, many seal pups are born with fluffy white coats to help them blend in with their icy surroundings. Whales and dolphins have dark backs and pale bellies, a form of countershading. When seen from above, they blend in with the deep water surrounding them. Looking up from the sea floor, the light streaming down helps them disappear in plain sight, allowing them to either sneak up on prey or avoid any lurking predators. In a vast and sometimes harsh oceanic environment, adapting to survive is a way of life for marine mammals. While this unusual assortment of creatures are all mammals, they don't all share a common ancestor. What does unite them is their mutual dependence on marine environments. At some point, each group took evolutionary tangents, trailblazing their own paths to become the fascinating marine mammals that exist today. Whales and dolphins, for example, have an interesting family tree. They basically sprang from the same branch as hippos, their closest living relatives. Research shows the two started to go their separate ways about 50 million years ago, early cetaceans becoming aquatic, leaving their primitive cousins to continue to evolve on land. Watch a whale swim through the water for evidence of their terrestrial past. Instead of swimming with a left-to-right action like fish, a cetacean's spine flexes their body up and down in a running motion in exactly the same manner as four-legged mammals. Present-day cetacean flippers also have bones that resemble the limbs of many land animals. In the animal kingdom, pinnipeds belong to the caniform suborder, along with animals like bears, wolves, skunks, raccoons, and weasels. Shared traits include long snouts and non-retractable claws. Researchers believe the pinniped family split away from their ancient relatives approximately 50 million years ago. The pinniped's link to terrestrial mammals was discovered in 2007, a fossilized skeleton of a poedula, an otter-like creature that existed 21 to 24 million years ago, with a skull and teeth similar to modern seals. Pinnipeds aren't the only marine mammals that share that lineage. Sea otters are the largest members of the weasel family. Some families share strong resemblances, like the two main types of sea cows. While manatees and dugongs do look very similar, their next closest relatives couldn't appear more different to them, or to each other. Yet elephants, hyraxes, and sea cows all belong to an ancient group or clade of mammals called Afrotherians that all share a common ancestor that existed more than 60 million years ago. The earliest known Sirenian to break away and become aquatic was Prorastomus, with fossil records dating back 40 million years. Over the ages, many adaptations have taken place within the marine mammal clan. For some, front legs have evolved into flippers. Others have fused their hind legs to become tails. But all of them have one massive thing in common: their home, the ocean. Marine mammals are naturals when it comes to showing off. Some of their behaviors are well known. Others, a fascinating delight to witness. For the most part, marine mammals are quite social. Out at sea, many cetaceans are often seen swimming together in groups called pods. The concept of safety in numbers is not lost on these intelligent animals. Neither is teamwork. Banding together in hunting parties is quite common. Groups of orcas on the prowl are often likened to wolf packs. Pod size normally ranges from just a few animals to 30 or more. Dolphins form three basic kinds of pods: nursery groups with mothers and calves, gangs of juveniles, and packs of mature males. While they do segregate themselves, pod membership is quite fluid, with dolphins regularly coming and going. During the breeding season, many seal species haul out and gather together in massive colonies. Watching them on shore, it doesn't take long to see evidence of a social hierarchy, with squabbles often breaking out as individuals try to maintain or improve their status. Males are often much bigger than females, giving them more power, with the largest, strongest bulls reigning supreme over their own subgroups. Younger males are often seen challenging each other, trying to jostle their way up the social ladder with the hopes of eventually gaining breeding rights. For a walrus, the bigger their tusks, the better their social status. But should they get broken, their popularity also suffers. As for sea otters, they tend to float around in groups called rafts. Mothers and pups usually band together, leaving the males to enjoy each other's company. Manatees usually only form casual groups, and dugongs, while social, only come together in big herds when there are enough seagrass beds to support a crowd. Annual migrations are another important behavior pattern displayed by various marine mammals. The incentives: food, finding a mate, and kinder conditions. Some coastlines are like oceanic highways, so constant is the whale traffic. Humpback whales are known to take on lengthy voyages, travelling 10,000 kilometres or more to their breeding grounds and back. Elephant seals also go the distance. Twice a year, they head into the North Pacific to forage and build energy ahead of the breeding season, spending 250 days at sea and covering at least 21,000 kilometres. Stamina isn't their only strength. Marine mammals have a long list of quirky behaviours that add to their appeal. Dolphins are famously acrobatic. They also like to indulge in bow riding the pressure waves of ships, the best positions taken up by dominant pod members. Tired sea otters cleverly anchor themselves to strands of kelp so they don't drift out to sea. While safely anchored, they can spend several hours a day combing through their fur, ensuring it's clean and fluffed so it keeps them buoyant and warm. Insulation-wise, otter fur is roughly equivalent to 7 times that in blubber. While lounging on the beach, seals have a habit of flicking sand on themselves for sun protection and to keep annoying insects at bay. Having a good scratch when grooming also helps. Whales are thought to dislodge parasites from their skin by breaching. Some believe these huge creatures perform these spectacular leaps simply because they can. Something that distinguishes mammals from other animals is how they come into the world. For the most part, female mammals give birth to live young. Arriving straight into the water is what makes life interesting right from the start for many newborn marine mammals. Getting them to the surface to take their first breath of air is a challenge the mothers instinctively know how to handle. Whales have quite lengthy gestation periods. For humpbacks, 11 months. At birth, a baby humpback can weigh up to 900 kilos. Calves are nursed on high-fat milk, between 35 and 50%. Its thick toothpaste consistency means it doesn't break up underwater. On this rich diet, baby whales can put on 50 kilos or more a day. Depending on the species, calves can nurse for 6 to 24 months before they're weaned. Mothers and calves form very strong bonds. Adolescent whales can start breeding between 6 and 13 years of age. Lifespans vary greatly. Bowhead whales average 200 years. Humpbacks can live for about half a century or more. Sperm whales, 60 to 70 years. A blue whale, 80 to 110 years. Orcas, 29 years. Pinnipeds do come ashore from time to time, and giving birth is one big reason for females to haul out. New Zealand fur seal mothers carry their pups for about 9 months. Newborns suckle for the first 12 days. Then their mothers leave to forage for themselves, before returning to the colony to nurse her pup. While the pups wait in the colony for their mothers to return, the youngsters play and socialize, picking up vital life skills along the way. When the mothers return, they find their baby in the crowd by barking out their signature call. By 9 to 10 months of age, the pups are weaned. Female New Zealand fur seals are mature enough to start breeding anytime between their 4th and 6th birthdays. Males take a little longer to mature sexually and socially. Bulls are not ready to find a mate until their 9th year. In the wild, New Zealand fur seals have lifespans of about 12 to 15 years. Some pinniped species, like the walrus, surviving for up to 3 or 4 decades. Manatee calves make their debut after a year-long gestation. Mothers helping them to the surface for air. Within their first hour, the calves master the art of swimming. By the time they're 5, manatees can start having their own young. These sea cows can survive for about 40 years. Like other marine mammals, pregnant sea otters produce just one baby at a time after a 6 to 7 month gestation. Otter pups rely on their mothers for the first year for care and nourishment. As she floats along, the pup enjoys the ride, lounging around on her furry belly. Young females can start to have their own offspring by their 3rd birthday. In the wild, sea otters can spend up to 20 years bobbing around on the ocean blue. Living in and around the ocean means marine mammals have an extensive buffet of seafood to choose from. Whales, or cetaceans, have a wide variety of appetites and dining styles. Toothed whales use their dental work to catch their favorite menu items, like fish and cephalopods, such as octopus and squid. Bivalves, such as clams and scallops, and crustaceans also end up in the bellies of toothed whales. Other marine mammals are also on the menu for some. Orcas are apex predators and, as such, have no natural enemies. They, however, prey upon other marine mammals, including seals and sea lions, and occasionally whale calves. Cetaceans use various methods to help them capture a meal. Toothed whales often employ herding as a method of hunting. The pod squeezes a school of fish into a small volume, known as a bait ball. Individual members then take turns ploughing through the ball, feeding on the stunned fish. Corralling is another method, where they chase prey into the shallows, effectively trapping them. Dolphins and orcas are known to take this to the extreme, driving fish up onto shore. Baleen whales might not have teeth, but they are still carnivorous. Some like to skim up a meal, while others prefer to lunge and gulp. Rorquals, the largest group amongst the baleen whales, including the blue whale and the humpback, can take extra large mouthfuls of water, thanks to their expanding throat grooves that run under their mouth. All the better to increase their catch. When feeding, The average humpback can use their baleen plates to strain out approximately 2 tons of plankton, krill, and small fish every day. Seals have a varied diet. Fish, squid, shellfish, and crustaceans are the norm. Pinnipeds usually forage on their own, but if they come upon large schools, seals will work together to herd their prey. Pinnipeds and cetaceans are carnivores, high in the food chain. These predators help to keep the marine ecosystem functioning in a healthy, balanced manner. Large cetaceans have a positive effect on the ocean, referred to as the whale pump. These deep-diving creatures are able to bring nutrients like nitrogen back up to the surface and recycle them through the marine environment. When whales defecate at the surface, their rich excretions float there, providing a food source for small organisms, which in turn provide nourishment for higher creatures. On and on, the nutrients get pumped higher and higher up the food chain. Sea otters have quite a few skills that help them grab a meal. They can hold their breath for about 5 minutes. Plenty of time to dive down and forage for things like shellfish, snails, crabs, and sea urchins. Their dining choices make a huge impact on their habitat, keeping seafloor herbivores like sea urchins in check. Urchins like to graze on the lower stems of kelp forests. By reducing their numbers, the otters prevent excessive damage to these vital underwater habitats. The sea otters get a tasty snack while ensuring the health and well-being of the multitude of life forms that depend on the kelp beds for their survival. Sea otters have a high metabolism, so to keep their energy levels up, they need to consume about 25% of their body weight daily. Sea cows are big eaters as well. An adult manatee can munch its way through 1/10 of its weight in vegetation in one day, and they're not picky eaters, with more than 60 salt and freshwater plants on their menu. Manatees have plenty of options because they can feed from the sea floor right up to plants dangling above the waterline. In comparison, dugongs are bottom feeders, which rely on their sense of smell to guide them to seagrasses, as their eyesight is not keen. Since dugongs pull up the entire plant when they graze, they leave feeding trails in their wake, a definite sign of large, happy customers. As herbivores, sea cows are like underwater gardeners. By continually mowing, they keep seagrasses short and healthy. Their dining habits also help with seed dispersion. Seagrass beds are important nurseries for countless fish and marine species. Any downturn in the fitness of these aquatic havens has a knock-on effect on the wider oceanic community. Every marine creature plays their part in the intricate web of life that exists beneath the waves. With almost 3/4 of the planet covered by ocean, it's not surprising that marine mammals have made an impact on the world, and have been doing so for centuries. In ancient Greece, the sight of dolphins cruising in a ship's wake was taken as a good sign. In modern times, They represent Greece on the world stage as their national animal. Many cultures have tales of dolphins rescuing sailors in peril. The saga of Jonah being swallowed by the whale and then spat out after 3 days occurs in both the Bible and Quran. In Hawaii, whales have long been considered sacred. In Vietnam, they are worshipped. There, whales are believed to bring good luck, safety, and wealth. Humpbacks are held in such high regard in Bermuda, they are the national animal. To the First Nations of Canada, orcas are important cultural figures, regarded as guardians of the sea, offering travelers protection from monsters of the deep. Thanks to their devoted pod behavior, orcas also represent the strength of love and family bonds. Since at least 1500 BC, dolphins have been celebrated in art. Motifs of these popular, intelligent creatures adorning countless works around the world. To many, these playful, graceful mammals are somehow magical. Ancient myths about mermaids are thought to have been inspired by sea cows. The 3 mermaids Christopher Columbus apparently spied from the deck of his ship were most likely manatees. As for dugongs, in Malay this means Lady of the Sea. There is a 5,000-year-old wall painting of a dugong apparently drawn by Neolithic peoples in Tamban Cave, Malaysia. The selkie is another mythological being from Scottish folklore, a creature able to live as a seal in water that can shed its skin to become human on land. Marine mammals not only star in folklore, but also in literature. One infamous sperm whale from the 1840s inspiring the classic tale of a giant, vindictive white whale, Herman Melville's Moby Dick. Watching these animals breach, spray, and play in the water is captivating, as is the natural spectacle of the Northern Lights. In times past, the flickering glow of the aurora borealis was believed by the Inuit people to be the spirits of animals, such as seals and beluga whales, dancing. The Sami people of Finnish Lapland believed the lights were created by the spumes of water from whale spouts. Research has shown marine mammals and a healthy, robust oceanic ecosystem go hand in hand. Plus, what happens on dry land doesn't always stay there. So, as terrestrial mammals, we need to do our share to make sure they get a fair go. Throughout history, it's no secret that marine mammals have been hunted for food and other resources. While the practice still continues, often illegally, it is, thankfully, nowhere near as intensive. Yet, out of the 13 great whales, 7 are currently listed as vulnerable or endangered. Globally, the images of whales or dolphins have become the symbol of conservation movements. A universal shorthand for the preservation and conservation of species everywhere. The efforts of local and international conservation groups have seen a slow recovery in some population numbers. A few, such as southern right whales and New Zealand fur seals, managing to bounce back from the brink of extinction. Positive results like these will hopefully inspire continued efforts to protect and preserve these majestic creatures. There are many simple ways everyone can help these charming creatures. Reduce the use of plastics. recycle. Choose seafood that has been sourced in a sustainable manner. Respect the boundaries of marine sanctuaries. Explore the ocean safely and responsibly. Intelligent, charming, exhilarating, and inspiring. A few of the many qualities these natural wonders bring to our world.